The chalice moved before I touched it. I am writing this now while my hands still shake. I am trying to get it down simple. No symbols. No blame. Just what we did, and what it did back. We went to the old chapel in the castle, the ruined one with the broken glass. The nave was open to the night. Wind came through holes where the saints used to be. The stone was wet and cold. The stink was iron and old rot. There were brown stains in the floor by the altar. We thought we knew what they were. We tried not to look at them too long. It was me and Aaron. We are not kids. We have done rights. We know how to start clean and leave clean. We thought we did. We brought the chalice. It was not ours. We took it from the crypt shelf. It looked heavy, but it felt wrong light. The cup had film in it that did not clean all the way. We set it on the altar. The sound it made was ugly, like bone on stone. We found no leak. The ceiling was dry. Still, I heard a drip. 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 It was close, but not from above. It made my throat tight. Aaron said, "Hear that?" "Hear that?" I said, "There's no water." I looked up and saw only the night through the holes. No rain, just wind. The drip kept on like a clock. We chalked the circle wide around the altar. Salt there, too, a thin line. Iron filings in a bag. The filing smelled like a nail held in the mouth. It cut the wet smell for a second. My hands were cold. I rubbed them and they felt gritty with the stone dust. We did the chant. Quiet. Careful. It was not long. It is not the kind you shout. Just under breath. Old words. My breath made little clouds when I spoke. I saw Aaron's eyes go to that. He covered his mouth with his sleeve. It was just habit, out of respect. The chalice scraped again, not from wind. It turned a little on its base by itself. It sounded like it was grinding bits of grit. The cup moved toward the edge of the altar like it wanted down. I said, "Don't touch it yet." My voice sounded thin. The drip was louder. Drip. 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 It matched my heart for a beat. Then it slipped out of time. We kept on. We closed the last words. The wind changed. The far door to the side room swung open hard and slammed. The sound ran up my back. Then nothing. No wind. No drip. No sound at all. The candle flame went long, then straight. I felt a pop in my ears. Aaron let out a breath. He smiled with just the corner of his mouth. "It took the door," he said. "It's gone." I wanted to believe that. The silence felt like a hung thing, like after a fight. I said, "Close the line again." He topped up the salt. I pushed the chalk with my foot where it looked thin. We stood. We listened. Quiet. I felt stupid for being scared. For a second, I felt light. We came to do a thing and it was done. That was what I thought. Then something tapped my boot. I looked down. There was a dark smear reaching from the old stain. It was not spreading like water. It crawled. It pulled like a slug. Slow. It touched my boot and stopped. The iron smell went sharp, right in my nose. My mouth filled with spit. Aaron hissed, "Back!" He stepped back. His foot knocked the chalice. It scraped again. The sound went through my teeth. The smear pinned to my boot lifted at the edge. Not all of it. just a bead. It climbed up the leather like a line. A drop rose on air. It hung between my boot and the floor. It wobbled. It pulled longer and thinner. Then it snapped and flew. It went for the chalice. It hit the cup and ran up into it, like it was going home. Aaron said, "No." He reached for the cup. Something grabbed his wrist. I did not see a hand. I saw his skin pull in around his bones. His sleeve went tight around his arm like someone yanked it. He jerked forward. He hit the altar with his hip and swore. His breath came out loud. I heard it go, like it was pulled. Like someone took it from him, not him letting it out. His face went gray. He said, "It has me," and then he sucked air and his chest stuck part way. I went in without thinking. I took the knife from my belt and cut my palm. Not deep, just a line to make it look like more. I held my hand out over the circle. The line filled, and it ran down to my wrist. The drip hit the stone. Drip, drip, drip. The drops lifted before they hit. The red hung in little beads and shook. Then they went sideways. Up. They went nowhere, but also away, like fish in a bowl you can't see. The beads stretched into strings and snapped off into nothing. I felt cold air tug at the cut, like a mouth at my hand. It stung so bad my teeth hurt. It let Aaron go for a blink. He stumbled back. He grabbed my coat and I smelled his fear. He smelled like old smoke and iron from the filings. The iron smell cut the sweet rot. He looked at my hand and said, "Jesus, don't do that." He sounded wrong, thin, like he had been running. The thing came back for my palm. I pulled it in. I threw filings with my other hand. The little gray bits hit the air where the beads hung. I did not see a body. I saw the filings stop and hang and then fall like they hit glass. The air hissed. My ears popped again. The smell of iron went strong, like a blood penny on the tongue. It backed off. I could feel it. Space opened up in front of me where it had been tight. We took what we had and made a line. We poured salt at our feet. We fed filings into it. We drew a new circle, small, around us, around the chalice and altar. Our shoes pushed the salt line. We kept our hands steady as we could. Aaron shook. He kept wiping his mouth on his sleeve. He kept forgetting to breathe and then breathing too big. The candles sat still now. No draft. The broken windows held a smear of night and a couple stars in the holes. In the shards at the edges, I saw something move. Not outside. In the glass. A dark flick that did not match our arms. It was like it was pressed just back from the surface watching. When I moved, it did not move the same way. It blinked wrong. When Aaron took a step, it stretched thin across 3 shards and then was gone. I did not want to look at that. I put my cut hand in my coat. I kept pressure on it to stop the drip. I could feel the blood push against my fingers with my heart. It wanted out. I knew if it came out, it would not hit the floor. It would not be ours. It would go. Aaron said, "Ward's holding." He meant the filings. The line sat there, dull and ugly. For a bit, nothing moved. I let myself breathe slow. My breath fogged in front of my face and went away before it rose. That scared me all over again. I pulled my scarf over my mouth and nose. Aaron did the same. We stood a while. The iron smell lay on my tongue. My mouth tasted like pennies. The drip had stopped. Second time, we thought it had gone, I guess. We eased our shoulders a little. Aaron took a step toward the far door. the one that had slammed. He wanted to check it. He put his foot over the line. The filings twitched. I slapped his shoulder hard. "No," I said. I whispered. My whisper felt too loud. We waited. The line went still. Aaron nodded. His eyes were wet in the candlelight. There was a smear of something at the edge of his lip. He wiped it and looked at it, and his face twisted. He shook his head fast like a dog. "It's not gone," he said. He sounded shameful, like he was sorry for even thinking it. We needed to end it. That was the rule. You don't leave a rite open. You close it. We could not close it while it was hungry. It was wrong hungry. It liked breath. It liked blood. It liked both. I thought of a trap. Dumb thing. You go at it with what you have. We had salt. We had glass. The windows were broken out. There were chunks. We took the shards from the floor and laid them in a ring inside the line, shiny sides up. Little mirrors. We poured another ring of salt around them. We put the chalice in the middle. We didn't speak what we were thinking because saying it makes it false. Aaron nodded. He kept his mouth covered. He held his breath as long as he could and then let it out slow through his nose. We pricked our fingers and let one drop fall each. Stupid. I know. We wanted to bait it into the glass. We stood back. The drops hovered right away. They stretched to go forward. They went over the salt and into the ring. The glass shook. The shards hummed against the stone like a mouth of little teeth. The drops touched the glass and went flat. They ran and split and ran again in little rivers that did not know down. My eyes went wrong from looking at it. I looked away. Aaron stared. He said, "Do you see it?" He saw something in the glass I didn't. The space went cold in a way I have not felt before. I felt it behind my ribs, like someone put hands inside and squeezed. Not hard, just to show me they could. I gasped. The sound when I gasped came back at me, like it got tugged out and then shoved back. The ring of glass shook once more and then went quiet. The blood was gone from it. The chalice was still. The drip was gone. The candles burned, small and normal. Third time, we thought we did it. We tricked it. We looked at each other and we both tried not to smile. Aaron laughed one laugh through his nose. He pulled the scarf down. He took a full breath. "Let's close," he said. "Let's close and go." Something dark came out of the wall. It was not a shape. It was wet. The wall was wet stone. The black came out like water coming through rock. It came out slow at first, then fast. The mortar lines filled with something not water. It ran down the blocks and went under the salt. The line bubbled. The filings hissed. The iron smell made my eyes water. The sound was the worst. It was my breath. It was Aaron's breath. Not the normal sound. The pull. The take. Like a pump, it took from us without touch. I tried to hold my breath and could not. It drew my next breath out as soon as it got in. I saw the candles bend toward it like grass in wind. It reformed. That was the word that came into my head. It took everything it took and made itself with it. Not so I could see a body. I saw holes where it was in the air. I saw the edges because the glass showed them. Everywhere there was a bit of glass, there was a smear. Long. Wrong. Like a tall man, very close, but you only see the sides of him. It hit Aaron first. He stiffened. He put his hands on his chest. His eyes went wide. He made a sound like a man pushed underwater. I grabbed him around the waist. I tried to pull him back. He was light. He felt like a coat on a hanger. His mouth opened. I saw the wet inside. The air went out and did not come back in. He clawed at my arm. He left cuts without nails. He was not trying to hurt me. He was trying to hold on. I threw filings into the dark space and it pulled them in and stopped. A beat. Enough. Aaron fell to his knees. He tried to breathe. He could not. He coughed. Nothing came. He looked at me and mouthed something. It looked like my name. Or it looked like sorry. We ran. There is the heavy door to the side room, the one that slammed. We went through. I crossed the salt with my heel. We did not pick the line up. We broke it. We had to. We got into the side room and pushed the door shut. It was thick wood. Old. It stuck and then it thumped into the jamb. I set the bolt. The iron felt warm in my hand. The room was small. A shelf with rod on it. A little table with a drawer. The floor was wet stone like the nave. The air was dead. Aaron fell against the wall and slid down. He held his chest and made shallow pulls. Like he had a weight on him. I sat with him. I put my hand on his back. It was cold and damp. He took my hand and pressed it to his ribs. He wanted weight. He wanted to feel something. I said, "Hold on. Hold on." I sounded stupid. I had no words for him. I did not say the words we say over the dead. He was not dead yet. The other side of the door was quiet. Too quiet. Then something tapped the wood like a finger. The door breathed. Not like a thing alive. I mean, the air came under it. Fast. My scarf rose with it. It pulled at my mouth. It pulled at Aaron's mouth. He put his hand over his face. He did not have the strength to keep a seal. I took the last of the filings. I blew them under the door. They made a squeal when they hit something. The smell of iron came up like I bit my own tongue. It bought a moment. The pull went away. Aaron coughed. He got a little air, then lost it. He leaned his head back on the stone and looked up. There were shards of colored glass wedged in the mortar in that room too. A saint with no eyes. I saw us in it. Two little shapes in red and black. A third smear over us like a smear of oil. It lay flat and then it lifted, like looking up from under a pond. I put my hand on Aaron's mouth for him and I breathed into him through my nose. Dumb. I know. It took it. When it took his, it took mine too. I felt it. The pressure on my chest. That was the third way I knew it. Not with eyes. Not with drops. With weight. Like a stone on my ribs, heavy and smooth. It pushed hard and steady and I could not pull air. My eyes watered. My ears rang. My heart hit my throat. Drip. I heard a drip and knew it was me. My cut had opened again. The drop hit the floor under me and did not hit the floor. It went nowhere. It left me and that made it worse. I made a sound from my throat like a bad bell. I hit the floor with my fist. I scraped splinters from the table leg and stuffed them under the door crack with the iron dust. I smudged salt from my pocket and pushed it there with my thumb. I said the end words. Fast. Ugly. I do not know if I said them right. I got a breath. It took the next one. It did not want the words. It wanted breath. Aaron's hands dropped. He was soft in my grip. His eyes rolled and showed white. He made a little sigh that I did not like. He did not make another sound after that. His mouth stayed open a little. His lips were pale. He looked like a doll left in a drain. I slid my hand under his head and set it down on my coat. I pulled his mouth shut and it stayed shut. I put my fingers on his throat. There was a beat. There was not another. I did not cry then. I did not have air to. My lungs felt chewed. I could not catch up. I put my face in my elbow and breathed my own air over and over like a child. It still found a way to take. Outside, the chalice scraped. It is a sound I will hear in my dreams if I get any. A long, slow scrape like someone pushing a tin can across stone. It left a trail I could smell, but that is dumb. You cannot smell metal move. I did. Iron and old, sweet and wet. It came closer to the door. The scraping came and stopped and came again. It tapped the door like it was feeling for the thin places. Drip. Drip. I pressed my palm to the page now and I see the little red half moons. The drip from the cut matches my heart. It is slow, then faster. It is not stopping. I am writing to keep my hands still. The bolt shakes. The wood shakes when it pulls. It does not slam. It pulls, like breath. The air goes under the door and then it pushes a little into the room like a lung. I keep thinking of stupid things. Aaron breaking his thumb on a bar tab. Aaron laughing at me when I drank too fast. Aaron saying the words for me when I forgot my part. He is here next to me and he is not. His breath is not in him. I have filings on my tongue. I pressed the bag to my teeth. It tastes like blood and spoon. My mouth is full of iron and spit. My chest hurts when I breathe. When I stop, it takes anyway. There are bits of glass in the wall, and in them I see something moving. It is not me. It is not Aaron. It is right at the edge. If I move, it moves slower. If I hold still, it stirs like oil. It gets closer when I breathe out. It likes that. The chalice is at the crack. I hear it. I do not have to see it. It clicks when it hits the door base. It scrapes. It scrapes. It is right there, metal on stone, small and sure. Each move matches the drip. Drip. Scrape. Drip. Scrape. It is keeping time with me. It is right on the beat. I can't hold the end words together in my head. They keep slipping. I am writing them here so I do not lose them. No, I won't. If I try, I will die faster. That is the truth. My hands are numb to the wrists. My jaw aches. My eyes burn. The candle is short. The wax runs on my boot and I don't feel it right. The wood is old, but it is solid. The bolt has a good seat. The hinges are big. It should hold. It is holding now. It will not keep holding. I can feel the pull in the grain. It's working in. The door is breaking. I hope you enjoyed that one. Sometimes these stories stay with you longer than you expect. If you'd like to hear more, subscribe for the next night's story. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe watch another before the lights go out. See you in the next one.